to all the many people and living beings that surround us who made this occasion possible. With deep gratitude, いただきます。Good morning, everyone. I know this is really strange, weird, to begin Dharma message with the words of Thanksgiving, meaning for Thanksgiving. But anyway, so this is a kind of topic for my Dharma message today. So as I mentioned in the Dharma School message, I've been to Japan for about 2 weeks. And this is because to attend the 5 ministers' assistants from BCA, Hawaii, and Canada who had a special ministerial training in Kyoto. So tradition, there are 2 major training retreats. One is 11-day training retreat for taking ordination. So training program to become a Jodo Shinshu minister, Jodo Shinshu priest. And then this ordination training is called Tokudo training. And then the other one is 10-day training retreat for obtaining a teacher's certificate, which is called Kyoshi in Japanese. So this time, the 5 ministers' assistants participated in the teacher's certificate retreat from November 4th to 13th. So ordination retreat and Kyoshi teacher's certificate retreat, both are held at a special training facility in Kyoto. And the participants have a sort of a monastic life for 10 or 11 day at the facility. So monastic life means no TV, no cell phone, no radio, no newspaper. So the participants are confined in the training facility for 10 days, 11 days, and then totally separated from the secular world. So they didn't know those people didn't know the result of their election. So their daily routine started at 5:30 a.m. Right? And then lights out is 11 p.m. So there are 3 services a day: morning service, and then late afternoon service, and then evening service. And since this was an advanced training, so the rituals and then chantings were really complicated and long. So almost hour ritual. And then most of them do seiza, sitting on their knees. So this is kind of killing, knees. And then if people have a kind of issues on their, knees, they can sit on the chairs. But of course, people from BCA, Hawaii, Canada, they are not used to, sitting on their knees doing seiza. So that's why they could sit on the chairs. But most Japanese people, they, sit on their knees. And then, unfortunately, I'm Japanese. So, the back of the, hondo, the altar hall, I was sitting in the back, and then sometimes moving around. And then I survived that long, services. And 3-hour lecture in the morning, and then lunch. After lunch, about 4-hour lecture, and evening service, late afternoon service, and then dinner. And after dinner, there's an hour discussion. And then after this discussion, and then there's a kind of practice for next day service until like 10 or 10:15 p.m. And then they take shower, and then lights out at 11 p.m. So that's their kind of daily routine for 10 days. So, this is really tough, physically tough, especially for old people. So I would say maybe more than half of the participants over 50s. Some people are 60s, and then there are one gentleman here is over 70. This is really tough. And of course, there are some people dropped out due to health issues. The 5 minister's assistants from BCA Hawaii, Canada, they made it. They finished the 10-day retreat, and then they received the certificate. So I stayed at the training facility for 10 days, and I basically followed the schedule with the participants. So to be honest, it was really tiring and tough. And then, after people, went to bed, there is some, we call hanseikai, gathering, review of the day with other instructors, with some, over something. So that's a kind of additional, activity for instructors. Well, I really enjoy this intense retreat because, as I mentioned, I learned a lot too in the 10-day retreat. So since this was an advanced training, the speakers for the lectures were wonderful. And the instructors for chantings and rituals, they are wonderful too. So their words of wisdom, were not limited in the classrooms or at the altar area. Our first meal at the training facility was a lunch on November 4th. While we are eating during the 10-day retreat, we are not allowed to talk. Silent meal, like a Zen monastery. But the first meal, some people are chattering and they talk. And then the chief instructor stopped them talking with loud voice. This is really strict. Jodo Shinshu, sometimes people kind of easygoing, no practice, no, precept, kind of easy, Buddhism. But the 10-day retreat for Kyoshi certificate training or retreat or ordination training for 11 days, this is really strict, like a boot camp. So sometimes instructors can, shout, yelling the, people. So as usual, the chief instructor stopped them talking with loud voice. And then after lunch, after we finished the lunch, he again opened his mouth. And then he kind of gently explained why we had meals in silence. Okay. Before each meal, we say the words of thanksgiving, the words for meal together. And then that is the passage I read at the beginning of my message. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to share this wonderful meal. Thanks to all the many people and the living beings that surround us who made this occasion possible. With deep gratitude, itadakimasu. So this is the words of thanksgiving in our tradition. Of course, in the retreat, we recited it in Japanese. Then, after reciting the words of thanksgiving, we started eating, we started meals. And then the chief instructor questioned, how many of us seriously recite the words of thanksgiving at each meal? As a custom, we say, itadakimasu, right? And then we start the meal. And then he questioned, how many of us seriously take the words of thanksgiving? So he asked if we just recite the words of thanksgiving just because we have to say it. Right? So to have a meal is to receive sacrifices of many lives, and to appreciate the efforts of many people behind the scene who made this meal possible. Yeah. So for example, at the training facility, every morning kitchen staff came around 5 or 5:30 to prepare our breakfast. Right? So our words of thanksgiving for the meal should come out of our deep recognition or acknowledgement of these facts. Right? We are receiving the lives of other lives, animals and fish, vegetables, and then many people working hard to prepare our meals. Right? So if we truly, humbly acknowledge those facts behind the scene, how should we recite? How should we receive the lives cooked on the plates and appreciate efforts of many people behind the scene while we are eating? So to eat meals in silence is to mindfully think about these things. So the chief instructor, explained the meaning of having meals in silence, but he also mentioned the importance of enjoying conversations over meals. Right? But he asked us, all of us, to eat in silence at least for the 10 days during the retreat, and then mindfully think about the deep meaning of the food in front of us. Right? That's how he explained the meaning of the eating in silence, and then asked us to think about the meaning in the 10 days. So his words hit me. Especially when he asked, how many of us seriously took the words of thanksgiving? Right? So every day when I eat something, I say, itadakimasu, I'm receiving the meal. However, to be honest, maybe my words of thanksgiving are sometimes just empty itadakimasu. Just say it without thinking or just ignoring the deep meaning of the food in front of me. Right? So according to the teaching, Buddhist teaching, Buddha does not give us food. Buddha does not feed us. Right? But this Buddha awakens us. Buddha awakens us to the truth that there are many, many causes and conditions that have made the meal and the food in front of us possible. Right? And then because of such awakening, such awareness, we can have a sense of gratitude, right? Sense of gratitude toward other lives, and then people around us. And then this is how Buddhist teaching enhances the quality of our everyday life. And then I would say this is a great gift. That kind of awareness or awakening is a great gift that we can receive from the Buddha. So the chief instructor's words reminded me, or reminded us, all of us in that room, in the dining hall, of something that we took for granted or overlooked. So during the 10-day session in Kyoto, I encountered many other, words of wisdom from other teachers, instructors, and speakers. So maybe I'd like to, share those words in other occasions too. So again, thank you very much for attending today's service. Although the air is not so good, but I'm so glad to be here and to see you again. So again, please join me, Gasho, to close the message this morning. We are truly grateful for this opportunity to share this wonderful meal, thanks to all the many people and living beings that surround us who made this occasion possible. With deep gratitude, いただきます。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナモアミダ仏。ナマンダ仏。ナマンダ仏。